So remember yesterday, the last day of November, it was cold and blustery. We had our highs in the low 30s, but really the wind chills were mainly in the teens for the day. Well, today, the first day of December, we start a stretch where our high temperatures will be above average for this time of year, and not just the next 7 days. The next 14 days through December 14th, there's a high probability of warmer than normal weather across Wisconsin. Winter is the fastest warming season across the eastern two-thirds of the United States. So we're not talking small sample size. We're talking big picture stuff, like 50 years worth of data. In fact, in Wisconsin, winter is warming at a rate that's twice as quick as the second season on the list, which is fall. So case in point, in Green Bay, in the past 50 years, our average winter temperature has climbed 5.7 degrees. That's a lot, and that translates to 18 extra days in meteorological winter, December, January, and February, where temperatures are above normal. Now, that could save you a couple bucks on your heating costs, but really it causes bigger issues with our state's tourism, especially winter sports like skiing and snowmobiling. And this is also bad news for our cherry growers in Door County, because those fruit trees need some dormancy during the colder months so they can provide fruit the following year. Well, here's today's weather on First Alert Pinpoint Predictor. Sunshine returns today with a high of 37 degrees.
All right, I think you know what's coming next, right? It's time to turn our attention to weather. Let's take a live look at our Green Bay Skycam right now. As you know, if you've been outside, it has been a windy 24 hours, and it has gotten colder as predicted. And joining us now, Chief Meteorologist Steve Beylon on the 4:30 show for the very first time. Welcome and Merry Christmas to you, my friend.
Merry Christmas to you. Merry Christmas to everybody out there. I had a big sigh when you talked about how windy and cold it was because, like a lot of people, I got really soft this month.
Yeah.
It was so mild, and all of a sudden, with a flip of a switch.
See, I thought when you said I sighed, it was because you guys nailed it. I mean, you have been forecasting that plummet and the high winds for days. Got it right on the target.
I appreciate the pat on the back.
Yeah,
Thank you very much. But you know what? We've gone through a chilly change. Here we are, Christmas Eve, Jack Frost nipping at your nose.
And your ears.
And
the back of your head.
Right.
And the top of your head for some of us.
And that's where you lose most of your body heat, just so you know.
Yeah,
so
it has not worked out well for me at all.
No, you got to make sure you wear a hat. That's where most of your body heat goes. These are the wind chills. And we describe these as feel-like temperatures. That phrase, feel-like temperature, you're going to hear a lot of that over the next few months.
Yeah.
So what do you think of the numbers up there?
I think they could be worse, but I'm not liking them.
No, I mean, they're not real bad. They could be worse.
Yeah.
They will get worse this winter. I mean, you could be out in the Twin Cities. It's 14 degrees below zero.
That could also be the snowfall in some areas over there,
well,
right?
that is having an impact on bringing that feel-like temperature down.
Yeah.
I mean, they had the blizzard out there, all that snow on the ground. But, you know, a lot of people hear us talk about wind chill, and they're probably wondering, okay, what exactly is that? There actually is a science to this. So when you go out in the cold, you're losing your body heat through convection. That's what all the little squiggly lines are there.
Okay.
So your body heat comes off of you and actually creates like a little bubble around you. It's an invisible bubble, but it hugs around you if the air is calm or there isn't a whole lot of wind. So with little heat or wind, there's a layer of that heat that remains all around you, and it helps you to stay just a little bit warmer. So if the temperature is 14 like it is right now in Green Bay, that's actually what it feels like out there. But there's a catch.
Okay.
If we have some wind, it's not like that at all. When it's windy...
Those squiggly lines are moving a lot faster.
Yeah, whoa, they're blown away. When it is windy, that moving air breaks up that bubble that's around you, that's insulating you, and all of a sudden you perceive it to be much colder. So even though it's 14 degrees, if you get a 16-mile-per-hour wind, all of a sudden your wind chill is -2.
Okay, so you guys, there's a very complicated formula. You and I cheated because we've talked about this before, but
it's true.
Very complicated formula that you don't even bother using.
We don't want to use the formula because it is way too complex. Usually we use the wind chill chart.
Okay.
This is something that we have in the Weather Center.
Charts I can understand.
Charts are easy.
This stuff down here, forget it.
I will show that in just a second, but I want people to get acquainted with the chart. So on the horizontal plane, we've got temperature descending as you go to the right. On the vertical here, we've got wind speed, and the wind speed picks up as you go down, and the different colors refer to how fast you can get frostbite. But here is that formula you were talking about. This is stuff that mathematicians have nightmares about.
Yeah, you have to have a special calculator for that one.
Yeah, and those cost hundreds of dollars, right? So we prefer not to do that on a daily basis in the Weather Center. So the bottom line is we use the wind chill chart to plug in those feel-like temperatures. That way you can prepare when you go outside. This evening we're going to have temperatures in the low teens, sub-zero wind chills, and broken clouds, maybe a few flurries to the north and east later on tonight, Chris. And all right, time for weather. Today is a day of change with our weather pattern. Not as warm, still humid though, 73 and heading down to the 60s this afternoon with periods of rain and embedded thunderstorms, and some of that rain is going to be heavy. That is our next weather maker. Showers, thunderstorms may bring east central Wisconsin 1 to 2 inches of rainfall. And as that rain runs off into low-lying areas, minor flooding is a possibility. As expected, first alert Viper Max is showing the rain this morning northwest of the Fox Valley. Not a lot of lightning, just a few lightning strikes in Menominee County, Michigan. Eventually, all this rain is going to spread across eastern Wisconsin as a cold front comes through. And behind this cold front, a switch in the seasons. It's 70 in Chicago, but it's 49 degrees in Fargo, North Dakota, with dew points in the northern plains dropping back into the crisp 30s and 40s. That's the air mass that's going to be here this time tomorrow morning. So here's First Alert Pinpoint Predictor. Cloudy skies, there's the rain spreading into the Fox Valley and the lakeshore. The heaviest the rain right here. 1 o'clock in the afternoon over top of Oshkosh, Appleton, Green Bay. So around and after lunch is when we get the heaviest downpours. They tend to weaken as they head towards the lakeshore. And then the rain moves out, but not until about 8 or 9 o'clock this evening, followed by clearing skies. Your severe weather outlook is low today. We'll watch for a possible upgrade. This is not a situation with damaging thunderstorms. This is more of a heavy rain situation. So if you have a basement that seeps water, keep an eye on that. And then behind the rain, the drier air arrives, especially after midnight. As we go towards tomorrow morning, our dew point is going to fall back into the 40s. That's some cooler, crisp air. Right now, though, we're at 68 degrees in Oshkosh and Fond du Lac, 66 in Marinette, and the dew point is mostly in the upper half of the 60s, although it's not quite as sticky along the lakeshore. Green Bay, mostly cloudy, 68, dew point 65, north wind at 3 miles an hour. Today, rain and storms, heavy at times, cooler, but still humid, a high of 73. We'll be dropping back into the 60s this afternoon. Tonight, clearing skies and less humid late, low near 50 degrees. On the water today, thunderstorms likely. South wind veering northwest around 5 to 10 knots with 1 to 2 foot waves. And here's your First Alert 7-day forecast. Tomorrow, 68, less humid, breezy with sun, then clouds, maybe an afternoon sprinkle. The weekend looks dry with partly to mostly sunny skies. Highs in the 60s. If you're watching us towards the upper Michigan border, watch out for a little touch of frost early Sunday morning.
First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Steve Beylon. Sponsored by Tundraland. Beautiful decks, replacement windows, bath remodeling. Built with American pride.